Hello students, welcome back. So after a good vacation, now we'll start our second semester. In that, the first chapter is chapter number 8, which is comparing quantities. So today in that we will start introduction of the chapter. So name of the chapter is comparing quantities. So the first question comes in our mind is that what is quantity? So for example, if I can say you, when we are going for a purchasing our ration at kirana shops, then at that time we are telling that give us 1 kg of rice, 2 kg of rice, 1 kg of wheat, like that. No one is using word like that, 1 liter of rice, 1 liter of wheat, like that. So similarly for water or oil or for any liquid quantity, we are using word like liter. Give us 1 liter of water, 1 liter of oil, like that. Similarly, when we are buying a cloth, at that time we are using word meter. Give us this meter cloth, 10 meter, 20 meter, like that. Like if I have to buy a cloth for my shirt, so what will I tell to the shopkeeper? I will tell that give us 10 meter of cloth, and like that. So what is this? Meter, liter, kg. And even if we are paying a particular amount, that is we are paying in rupees. Our currency in India is what? Rupees. So we are paying in rupees, 10 rupees, 20 rupees, like that. The time which we are spending, that is what? Like day, hours, seconds, minutes. What is all this thing? This all things is our quantities. So for example, if I have to compare two quantities, for example, if I have to compare that, what is the 10 ratio of rupees 10 to 100 paise, like that. That means we are comparing two quantities with same. So I can't compare that what is the ratio of 10 kg to rupees 50. I can't compare this two because the given quantity is in kg and another quantity is in rupees. So before starting this thing ratio, here we can understand what is quantities. So this all these things, a quantity means amount, the particular things which we are using. As I told you, liter, meter, kg, gram, we already discussed all these things during our live session. So now the first thing after that is how to compare two quantities. So here the first topic is in that is ratio. So the comparison which describes that a given quantity of certain times or a certain part of another given quantity is called ratio. Now for example, if I have to find the ratio of rupees 10 to 100 paise. So if I have to find the ratio of rupees 10 to 100 paise, the first thing what I have to do, first I have to convert rupees 10 into paise, or I can convert 100 paisa into rupees. Without that I can't find the ratio, because there is a condition that both the quantity should be same. For example, if I can tell you that I can't compare the marks of one of the student from the class, I can't compare his marks in English subjects to another student's marks of maths. So if I am comparing English marks with maths, so that is not the fair. So similarly, if we have to compare rupees to paise, then I have to convert any of given quantity with the same unit. So both the unit should be same or quantity should be same. Similarly, if I can't find 10 kg to rupees 50, because both the quantities are different. So whenever this type of questions are there in your exam, what is the ratio of 10 kg to rupees 50 or 10 liter to 10 meter, so in that you can write in answer that it is not possible, because there is a rule that units of both the measure should be same for the ratio, or two weights can be compared or two heights can be compared. We can't compare one height with one weight, like that. Okay, so both the units should be same, and ratio is always expressed in the lowest form. So for example, if I have to find ratio of rupees 7 to 70 paise, so for that what will I do? To find the ratio, first of all here I have to find the ratio of rupees 7 to 70 paise. So for that, first of all I convert this rupees into paise. So here I will write 1 rupee equal to 100 paise. So rupees 7 equal to how much? Obviously 700 paise. Or we can also do this thing, we can here do that 100 into 7, then I will get 700 paise. So to find the ratio of rupees 7 to 70 paisa, what I will do, first of all, here we have to find in terms of rupees 7 to 70 paisa. So here at upper we'll write 700, and here at below we'll write 70 paisa. So here 0 will be cancelled, 7 upon 7, 70 upon 7. So here 7 tens are 70 and here 1. So how can we write the ratio as we studied in standard 6? So here 10 ratio 1. So here we can write as a 10 ratio 1. So this shows 10 ratio 1. So ratio is what? Ratio shows matra, we can say in Hindi. It is the matra or particular amount, that is 10th part is of rupees 7 and 1 part is of 70 paisa, like that. So this is how we have to find the ratio. So whenever you are finding the ratio, this particular things which you have to fit in your mind, that ratio is unitless, ratio is no unit, because for example 10 kg upon 20 kg, so this kg will be cancelled. So in blanks question be like, what is the unit of ratio? So you can write that ratio is unitless or it has no unit, and ratio is always expressed in the lowest form. For example, this 700 upon 70 is there, so we converted this into lowest form. And how to find lowest form, we already discussed that thing. So this is called ratio. Now our next topic is percentage. Now what is percentage? Percentage means percent of 100 or part of 100, or also we can say per 100. Now in this chapter we have to convert some ratios or some decimals numbers into percentage. So how can we convert any number into percentage? So to convert any number or fraction into percentage, for that we have to multiply that number with 100. So from there we'll get the answer in a percentage. So for example, here the ratio is, for example, the ratio is 1 upon 4. So to convert this 1 upon 4 into percentage, what we have to do? We have to multiply 1 into 4, 1 upon 4 into 100. So here 1 upon 4 into 100, we all know 25 4s are 100. So 25 into 1, what is the answer? 25. So 25 percentage, that means one whole quantity is there. So fourth part of that is 25%. So here you can see 25, 25, 25, 25. The whole is 100. So this is 25%. This is how we have to convert any number into percentage or any ratio into percentage. Regarding this, many examples are given in your book. So for example, question be like, convert the following to percentage. So this type of question can be given to you, 12 upon 16. So if I have to convert 12 upon 60 into percentage, so for that what will I do? 12 upon 60. So as I told you, to convert any number into percentage, we have to multiply that with 100. So to convert this ratio into percentage, I will write 12 upon 60 into 16 into 100. So here, first of all, we'll find the lowest form of this. 2 and 6 are that is both are in the table of 2. So 8 2s are 16, 2 6s are 12, 2 4s are 8, 2 3s are 6. So 3 upon 4, we can't cut further this. So here I will write 3 upon 4 into 100. So 3 upon 4 into 100. So what will now 4 25s are 4 into 25 will get 100. So 25 multiplied by 3, I'll get 75. So 75% is the answer of this particular thing, which is 12 upon 16. So this is how we can convert any number into percentage or any fraction or ratio into percentage. And sometimes question can be there like, convert the given fraction into percentage and find the decimals too. Or question can be reversed, that percentage of will be given to you 75%, and question be like convert the given percentage into fraction. So for that, what we can do, for example, this, if I have to convert this 75 percentage into fraction, so for that, what will I do? To convert any fraction or number into percentage, we are multiplying that with 100. So to convert from percentage to number, what we will do, we'll divide that with 100. So 75 upon 100. So we can do one thing here. First we can find the reduced form. So what is the reduced form? 25 is 100 and 15, 25 is 100 and 15 5 is 75. Now 25 is that means 5 4 is 20, 5 3 is 15. Now 3 upon 4. So 3 upon 4, this is how what we converted 75 percentage into number. Just as you can see here, the same which we got reversed. So similarly, question will like find the answer in decimal. So for that, what we have to do, we can divide 3 divided by 4, or also we can directly take decimals here, because we already studied in our second chapter. So 75 upon 100, if I will take decimal, then it will be 0.75. So percentage to number or fraction, and from fraction that decimal number 2 we can find. Many questions are there regarding this in your textual exercise. So this is how we can convert any number into percentage by multiplying it with 100, or from percentage if we have to find particular ratio, fraction or number or a decimal number, from that dividing that percentage with 100 we can find that amount. So this is how we have to use this topic, percentage or converting decimal into percentage. To convert any decimal into percentage, what we have to do, 0.75 is there, we have to multiply this 0.75 with 100. So 0.75 I can write 0.75 as the 75 upon 100, and if I have to convert this number into percentage, so I will multiply this number with 100. So this 100 will be cancelled, so 75% will be our answer. So this is how we have to find percentage, or from percentage we can find decimal number. Now question arises, sir, when we will use this percentage in this chapter? So for that, many examples regarding this is there. For example, question be like Pratham pays 5% of rent, 5% of rent of his house, and his monthly income is, from his monthly income he is paying 5% of amount for the rent. So for example, his monthly income is rupees 75,000. So for that, how can we find the 5% of this 75,000? Because from that 75,000, the 5% of that he is paying for the rent of his house. So for that, first of all, as we studied that to convert any number into percentage, we are multiplying that with 100, or from percentage to fraction we are dividing that number with 100. So 5 is what? 5% of rent is given. So for that, 5% means here I can write that 5 upon 100 into what is his total salary, 75,000. So here 20 will be cancelled. So if I will multiply 5 into 750, I will get rupees 3,750. So what is this? Rupees 3,750 is the rent which Pratham is paying for the rent of his house. So this is how we have to use and solve sums regarding this. So rupees 3,750 is the percentage of 5% of rupees 75,000. Now our next topic is profit and loss. So what is profit loss? So to understand that thing, some nomenclatures are there that we have to first understand. So the first thing is cost price. So the amount paid to purchase an article is called its cost price. It is denoted by CP. CP means what? cost price. So for example, if I have to buy this pen, so to purchase this pen it cost me rupees 5. So what is rupees 5? So rupees 5 is cost price of this pen. So at a particular amount we are purchasing a particular thing or article or any goods, so that is called its cost price, because to purchase that particular thing it cost us a particular amount, so that is our cost price. And the next one is selling price. What is selling price? Selling price means, for example, I bought this pen at the rate of rupees 5 and I sold that pen and I am selling this pen at a rate of rupees 10. So rupees 10 is my selling price, because I purchased this pen at a rate of rupees 5 and I sell this pen at a rate of rupees 10. So this rupees 10 is what? It is our selling price, because at this particular price I am selling this pen. Then additional expenses. What is additional expenses? There are expenses done after purchasing good. It is denoted by AE. These expenses are also called overhead expenses and denoted by OE. So to understand this topic, for example, from a showroom, if we bought a car or particular bike, so in that if we are attaching any accessories, seat covers, roofing, so all these things are additional expenses. So for example, I bought this particular pen, and to gift wrap this pen it cost me rupees 10. So to wrap this pen it cost me rupees 10. This additional rupees 10 is what? This is my additional expense. So at last, what is the net price of this pen? So I will get this pen at a rate of, first I purchase this pen at a rate of rupees 5, then I done gift wrapping of this pen at a rate of rupees 10. So 10 plus 5 rupees 15. So this pen cost me rupees 15 including additional cost or overhead cost too. So this is also called net price. So here you can see the sum of cost price and additional expenses is called net price, and it is denoted by NP. When additional expenses are spent on a goods, net price is considered instead of CP, because in a net additional expenses the particular CP is already included. Now the next thing is profit. So I bought this pen at a price of rupees 5. I had done additional expense of rupees 10. So total it cost me rupees 15, and I sell this pen at a rate of 10. For now we are considering that I sell this pen at a rate of rupees 30. So now we can clearly see that what is rupees 30? Rupees 30 is clearly greater than cost price. So whenever selling price is greater than cost price, it is the case of profit. So here I made the total profit of how much? Profit is equal to, the equation for that is selling price minus cost price. So selling price is what? Rupees 30 minus cost price. It total cost me rupees 15. So as we saw here, when AE are spent on goods, net price is considered. So here I can also write net price. So it total cost me rupees 15. So 30 minus 15, 15. So rupees 15 profit which I made. Now in your exam question will like find percentage of profit. So for that what we have to do? To find profit percentage, we have to do profit upon cost price or net price into 100. So here our profit is how much? 15 upon net price is how much? 15 into 100. So 15 will be cancelled. 1 into 100, 100. So here I will get 100% profit. So here because we have taken, I bought pen at rupees 15 and I sold this pen at rupees 13. So here I clearly made the doubled profit. So this is how we have to find profit percentage. For that equation is profit percentage is equal to profit upon CP/NP into 100. And to find profit, selling price minus cost price, or whenever selling price is there, so selling price is equal to cost price plus profit. Similarly, when cost price or net price is more than selling price, then there is a loss. So for example, in this case, if I am selling this, total it cost me rupees 15 to uh, buy this particular pen. If I am selling this pen at a rate of rupees 10, if my selling price is rupees 10, so this is the clearly the case of loss, because whenever selling price is less than cost price or cost price is greater than selling price, then there is a case of loss. So here loss is equal to cost price minus selling price. So total it cost me rupees 15 minus I sell at 10, so 15 minus 10 rupees 5. So I made loss of rupees 5. Similarly, if I have to find the loss percentage, for that equation is loss. Here we made the loss of rupees 5 upon cost price. It total cost me 15 into 100. So here 5 3s are 15, and here 1 is there. So 1 upon 3 into 100. So when we'll solve this, I will get 33.33%. So 33.33% the loss which I made. So this is how we have to find the loss percentage. So when cost price and net price is more than selling price, then there is a loss. Loss is equal to cost price minus selling price, and cost price is equal to selling price plus loss. So till exercise 8.2, we have to done sum tills particular this topics, and our next topics is interest. So that topic will take in our next video, introduction of chapter part 2. In that we'll discuss that topic in brief. So here we are completing our today's class. If anyone is having any query or doubt in this thing, then you may ask me in comment section. Thank you.